Good evening, Greg here, burning both ends, burning on the back end of Monday, 11:45 p.m. Pacific. It is the 12th of November, heading toward the middle of November already. And so tonight, lighting up a conversation about patience. This is just a reoccurring theme, and I have to admit, as big of a challenge as I have with patience, I am loving that challenge right now, and it's hitting me from all directions. And I was just looking at actually an outline from October 22nd. I think it was a YouTube post that I did here. Yeah, it was definitely one of my YouTube posts, and it just talks about patience, and it talks about a bunch of different things here, and just was kind of reminding me about just where I am, what I'm doing. This is a big part of the game, big part of the entrepreneurial game, right? So I'm an aspiring entrepreneur. This channel is all about my journey, and it's all about patience. And I'm even at a point now where I'm like putting things in place to like intentionally create patience for myself, right? So we're using so I'll just hit a few things, right? So Fundraise Up, my side hustle, loving the side hustle, loving Fundraise Up, loving what we're doing. So we help nonprofits increase online donations. I think we have a fantastic product, and starting to get some traction. This is like one of my big patient games, right? So I'm about September, October, November. So about 2.5 months in almost, with like really a big sales push. August was all about training, and it's just showing up in such a big way. It's showing up in just the conversations with the people. It's showing up in my getting back to them and allowing enough time so that way I'm not on top of anyone. Patience and just in everywhere. And even this morning, I had set an activity for myself in Pipedrive, and I didn't even feel like so. It had been 5 days since I spoke to someone, but there was a weekend in there, so I was like, you know what, it's too early. Let me push it out a few days, and so easily did that. And this is definitely the challenge is waiting and empathy, right, for people that just need some more time. A lot of these nonprofits that we speak to, there's obviously more than one person that makes a decision, and so it's giving that person the time to talk to the folks, and then other folks come to the calls, and just kind of creating this space excuse me, for just all these things to happen, so that way we can get to let's give it a shot, and I'm excited for that. I really am, and the thing that I know I need to do, I know I need to fill the pipeline more, right? So I'm pushing on my network, on the referrals, but and I was looking, I'm pointing at it, it's on the screen right here, my outline here. This kind of lessons learned from practicing patience. It's 10 weeks left, so this is like the week of October 22nd is when I wrote that outline, and so I'm in the same spot. So in that outline, I had revealed that I was trying to shoot some Facebook videos for advertising. It wasn't going so well. Since then, had a conversation with a really good friend of mine, and she mentioned static ads, and she had even taken a course where she did some static ads, and so now I'm pushing on that because I figured that's super easy to do, and I'm getting traction with Peter at Fundraise Up. I think we're pretty close to kind of making a call on executing some. I'm excited to get into that space. Just complete awareness campaign, not even selling, just awareness. Hey, this is what we're up to. These are the problems that we're addressing in the industry. The goal is the early adopters will come on through, right? And limit it to, very small amounts of money at this point in time, and then also the Twitter account. This is another thing that I know is really important for us to do. There's a lot of reasons for us to be on Twitter. And once again, not paid, just organic, just, posting on a regular basis. Twitter posts are, considerably easier in my opinion than Facebook posts, just as far as creating content and getting something that's going to have some reach and going to have some reaction to it. The simplicity of Twitter enables that, in my opinion. And so, but just getting in that space, I've learned that like 90+% of nonprofits are on Twitter. All of our competitions on Twitter. There's influencers to get connected to, and also just to kind of see the conversations going on. I just think there's a lot to learn, and there's only one way to do it, is to get in the space. I mean, I think we just got to get in the conversations, kind of just be a presence there. I think that's another part of our awareness campaign, because we are fundraising right now ourselves, and so I think next year we'll be in a situation where we'll have some funds. We'll be able to do some more kind of I don't say more appropriate, but just like a bigger campaigns, just kind of like a bigger push. Because right now I think we're all just using our networks to find folks. And so, and to scale up, we just need to, advertise, and then also through some of the people I've been speaking to, I'm learning about some conferences which I know are really important, right? So, I mean, yes, Twitter, Facebook ads, maybe Instagram, maybe LinkedIn, right? All these are great places to be, but in this business that we're in, I mean, that's a great way to build awareness, but to build relationships, right? That's going to be pressed in the flesh. That's going to be eye to eye, right? There is nothing like being eye to eye and talking to someone. Now, with Google Hangout, you can get a video chat going, you can see people, but it's just not the same. Not the same to build the relationships and the kind of business that we're looking to build. And so going to conferences, actually there's one, it's the Case District 2 conference. And so I'm looking at higher education as a great space for us, getting some traction with some universities. One of them showed me this Case District 2 conference. It's in Philadelphia in March, end of March next year, and so definitely want to see if we can get some funds together to go. Not going to be too expensive. It's about $2,000 for an exhibitor booth, and we already have material to bring, so that's not going to be a big expense. So I think it's just going to be mostly just paying for the exhibitor booth and then getting there. And I'm really all in on this, so I'm happy to give my time for free. And then also probably pay for my airplane ticket. Maybe if the company could cover the exhibitor booth, that'd be cool. $2,000, not a crazy amount of money, but we'll see. But those are the kinds of events. I mean, that could be a real game changer, right? Meet, they're going to be about 700 to 800 institutions there. Not that all of them will be interested in us, but you figure you can get in front of, at least several hundred, if not, and personally speak to several dozen in just a few days. That's a huge benefit. I mean, so if I were to try to estimate how many I've talked to so far, it's probably 30 to 40 nonprofits, I'd say, since September. So think about, doubling or tripling that in just 3 days. That's definitely worth it. And plus, you'll have that face-to-face interaction, which is so critical. And even want to come up with some kind of clever, I don't want to say gimmick, but clever kind of challenge, I'll say, at the event. Maybe we can set some folks up with some program, some campaigns right then and there, and they can do a little challenge on who can raise the most money in 3 days, something like that. So patience once again. And so here we have another example. We have a conference in March, and planning for that, right? And so that's what, 4 to 5 months out, so it's this is the game we're in. And so on another patience topic, so today, Veterans Day, and just by the way, huge shout out all the veterans out there listening. Thank you so much for all your service. Really appreciate it. Something that I don't think I could be in the military for whatever reason. It's just not something that suits me. But really appreciate the service. I can't imagine what it's like, but I really appreciate it. Keeping us safe, really important. So thank you. But the kids were home today. So I stayed home, was hanging out with the kids, talking about a day of patience, right? And because of the air quality around here in Albany, California, we really can't go outside for too long. So we're kind of stuck inside, right? There are these wildfires not too far from here. Well, far enough that we're not concerned about fires, but close enough that, we're downwind and we get quite a smoky smell in the air, and the air quality is pretty bad right now. But so we're stuck inside, so with the kids and just trying to do some art projects, trying to stay away from television, right? Because that's the easy thing. Here's a laptop, go watch a few hours of television. So I tried to, I successfully avoided that, and we just did lots of art projects, lots of coloring pages. I don't know if I have any right here. Let's see, I think I do. They love these things. So they're into the fat cat. This is like, what's this? Pusheen or something is the name of this cat. My daughters love this cat. So all kinds of pictures of this cat doing things. They're baking, obviously, at the beach, at a birthday party. There's one where the cat's on a laptop. So they just love this stuff. And my oldest daughter is going to make a whole book of coloring pages that she colors in of this cat. So I love stuff like that. I love these little creative things. And one of the coolest things about today was just seeing my kids play together. And this is something that's just, as a parent, is just like the coolest thing, is when your kids are getting along and you don't have to micromanage and you don't have to get in there and break them up, and they're getting along. And my oldest daughter, right, so they also love dry erase boards. You can see one behind me back there. I think that there's some writing on there for my daughter, my oldest, but my youngest is starting to write. It's so adorable, and my oldest teaches my youngest like math and other things. It's just really cool to see, and as a parent, it's just awesome. And of course, they get into fights every now and again. So, but it was a great day to spend some time with them, and it's just so important to do that. It's easy to get caught up in work and the grind and all that stuff, but I've realized that this is kind of the way that I break up my week, is like Monday through Friday. That is kind of time to get into action with the kids, right? Get them to school, right? Get them to bed, get them fed, all that stuff. There's just not a lot of time outside of school and work to do a lot, right? Morning is mostly just breakfast and getting ready. Evening is mostly dinner, and we get a few activities on the evening. Usually we do some wrestling or some running around or something. Of course, books, things like that. But I've realized I don't even plan things on the weekends anymore. I just let the weekends be family time. That's all I do on the weekends, is just family stuff. I think that's just, I really enjoy that, and it's just a matter of waking up Saturday morning. Usually like to make a nice breakfast for the family, so pancakes, or I think we did crepes this last weekend. My kids love crepes. And then I make this like lemon butter sauce, which is fantastic. So, and then they also love pancakes, like just kind of pancakes or bacon and eggs or something, got a little itch back here. So just the weekends are all about the kids. My youngest is in some swimming lessons. My oldest, what's she doing? Girl Scouts. And then we're in the season of birthday parties. We had a birthday party last weekend. We got one again this coming weekend. So birthday parties are always fun. And what's really cool is that usually both girls go to the birthday party, so that's just awesome. So family, very important. I don't want to be one of those aspiring entrepreneurs that like leaves the family behind. Don't want to do that. I really want to bust my butt and really want to work hard, but at the same time, I also want to spend quality time with the family. I don't want to like wake up and all of a sudden my kids are leaving for college or something like that. Right, I want to be there the whole time and just be engaged and be this active parent. So, and then the last piece that I'll end on here is the 9 to 5, and this is this kind of like November, December thing that happens, right? In my opinion, November and December almost act as 1 month because of all the time off and the holidays and the prep, right? You got Thanksgiving, and then you got people leaving a week before, so on and so forth, and then coming back a few days late, and instead of just being like a 4 or 5 day weekend, it ends up being, a 10-day thing with some folks, and then you get into December, and then if you don't get things to people by like the 10th or so, they might get kicked to January. So, all these interesting things to navigate through November, December. And so the challenge for me is always looking for like a little efficiency somewhere. Hey, while you're gone next couple of days, can someone step in and just prep that for you, so when you get back, you're kind of hitting the ground running? Or, just really, I find it comes in asking questions about, what people are up to. Hey, so, because, it helps me sequence. For example, we're getting a lot of procurement things ready for these large orders. Our procurement, or our buyer, is leaving on the 15th, I believe, of the month. And it's like, okay, should I really bust my butt to get this to you before you go, or does it not really make a difference? Like, asking those questions, and it's really important, because like we have 2 big procurements, and one of them is going to have a much longer lead time, and so we're really focusing on that one. And just want to, but this other one's still hanging out back there, and I'm making some drawings for that one. So those are like the optics, and just want to make sure that I'm sequencing things right, that I'm putting my effort in the right spots, and getting this buyer what he needs when he needs it. And so just asking, a lot of questions, just making sure I understand the flow, because what I've realized, like in like where I work, is that there are all these processes that all these people follow that not everyone knows about, and sometimes it's just a matter of asking the right question, and all of a sudden you get this information. So and I find that can be a little bit challenging, is what is the right question? And sometimes it's not so obvious, and so sometimes you just need to ask like a bunch to figure it out. So, but anyway, getting through it. Once again, patience and persistence there as well. So that's my theme for the night. Just, with the kids, with the side hustle, with the 9 to 5, and I have to admit, having the patience really gives me leverage. It really does. It really helps me understand things better. It enables empathy. It just enables me to really just sequence properly. And and I have to admit, my level of frustration is way down. I find that I don't get frustrated nearly as much, because that's the problem with when you're impatient, right? Or when I'm impatient is the frustration level. So that's definitely way down. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, I will wrap there. So yeah, this channel is all about my journey as an aspiring entrepreneur, and the patience and persistence that I'm getting behind, and so much struggling with, but at the same time having success with. So it's just kind of this love-hate relationship right now. Really working on it hard. And I find that, still what happens is, in my mind, I have that quick judgment and that impatience, but I'm able to kind of stop it there, and then let my actions tell a different story. Let my actions show empathy. Let my actions show patience. Things like that. So anyway, subscribe if you like what you hear. A lot of cool topics that I talk about. A lot of interesting things. And that's it. So check out the description down below. A lot of cool links. You can find my morning ents there. And I'm actually doing this 5-part ents, right, on my 4 pillars, right? So I have my intro ents this morning, and I'm going to do another 4: organization, clarity, sequencing, action. So you'll find one of each of those Tuesday through Friday of this week. Trying to get a little more creative on ents. And so I will wrap there. So beat in the background, G Money is my alter ego. I write these beats. Check them out. They're on SoundCloud if you like that kind of thing. And I think we will wrap there. So get some sleep. I'm psyched to get some rest myself. Go out, wake up tomorrow, crush it, light it up, do great things, inspire folks, and I will ent you in the morning. All right, y'all.